Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome to this episode of the Momentum Foundation podcast. Sorry, I was trying to do a split screen share thing there and didn't realise I'd hit the record button. Anyway, polished as ever, my lovelies. Hope you are all well. Thank you very much for joining me. This is a solo update introducing our third trustee and why she is a perfect fit, right? So all of you that are following us, you are all wonderful women, by the way, gorgeous women. We are in the process of applying for charitable status for the Momentum Foundation. Now, if you listen to the last episode, you will obviously listen to the last episode. You will have heard that we can actually call it the Momentum Foundation. We are not allowed to use the word foundation, right? There's quite a lot of rules and regulations as far as applying for charitable status is. And obviously, we are going to stick to all those rules and regulations because, we all need a bit of discipline in our lives every now and again. But that ties me in nicely, actually. Our launch event, Saturday the 13th of June, we will be in the Education Suite at Calendar House 2 till 4. Now, if you come along, so if you just buy a ticket for £20, right, it's an absolute bargain. You actually have the chance to shape the women of the midlife women of Falkirk and surrounding areas' future, because we are looking for feedback and input about all things midlife. So if you are a midlife woman and there's anything that you're struggling with, there's anything that you were struggling with and now you've sorted it out and you've absolutely smashed it, we would love you to come along because we are building this charity for midlife women. Well, we're actually supporting midlife women to build this charity for themselves because we absolutely believe that midlife women deserve to have a charity and a space without being constantly marketed at and sold to on the pretext of menopause. Inverted speechy comma things, all right? But also, we are going to have a vote about what to call ourselves. At the moment, I have been outvoted because now there's three of us, right? Which is exactly the reason why we have three of us. But we're going to also put it out to the room. So it would be interesting to know what all your thoughts are. Anyway, I digress. Right, so you've just got me today. Hi, I am Caris, for anybody that doesn't know me. All right, we also have Ailsa, who's not here. And we also have our third trustee, who is Wendy Gilmore. Now, the reason I'm here solo today is because we're busy. And I know, midlife women, I know you absolutely get that. All right, we have myself, Ailsa and Wendy, right? We all work. A little insight into Wendy. All right, Wendy was an accountant. She has retired. However, she now works part-time for the Citizens Advice Bureau. All right, so she gets to give lots of advice to lots of different people. So she still works. Ailsa works. I work, obviously. We all have other stuff to fit in as well. Do you know, you've got family, you've got training, you've got commitment, you've got socials. So the three of us are actually struggling to fit in a joint podcast at the moment between all our jobs and all our other stuff as well. Oh, and I'm moving house on Friday. Did you just know that? It's very exciting. Anyway, so you've got me, right? So we're all running about dafties, for want of a better word, but we have absolutely been struggling to coordinate our schedules for a joint podcast. But I didn't want to let another week pass without you hearing from us and thinking that we'd maybe disappeared. We haven't. We are just quietly working away in the background, although I'm not sure I can do anything quietly. Anyway, we're here, all right? So I just wanted to jump on and share the exciting news, right? So the Momentum Foundation, we're still calling it the Momentum Foundation, by the way, until we come up with a different name, officially has its third trustee. And obviously, I am absolutely delighted and over the moon to introduce her to you today. She is called Wendy Gilmore. All right, she is very, very lovely. But we didn't just pick her because she was lovely. We actually did pick her, by the way. We chose her, right? She was instantly my first thought. And then I spoke to Elsa about it, and Elsa was like, ooh, yes. And then we put a proposal to Wendy. Now, Wendy could have said no, right? And we would have been like, but she didn't. She said yes, because she absolutely gets what we're trying to do. She gets what we're all about, and she understands us. Now, I have known Wendy for 8 years, I think. I met Wendy at CrossFit, right? So when I started CrossFit, Wendy and her husband, awesome Alan, were at CrossFit already, right? But anyway, I am going to be a bit vague, because what I don't want to do is steal Wendy's thunder, because Wendy is coming on the podcast and she's going to tell us a bit about herself, like her work history, her life story, and her awesome background in her own words, right? So I'm not going to steal her thunder, but I feel like she needs a proper acknowledgement and a proper introduction today, because she is actually going to be a massive piece of our little puzzle that is the Momentum Foundation. Asterisk, name will be changed shortly. All right, but anyway, I have known Wendy for around, it must be about 8 years, right? And right from the very beginning, her and her husband have been super supportive of my CrossFit training, and they've seen me from the very beginning with my coaching journey. So when I first started CrossFit, I had just done my level 1 CrossFit to become a CrossFit coach, and actually failed the exam. So I passed the course, but I failed the actual written exam, right? And anybody that knows me well, that will come as no surprise, right? I'm absolutely shit at writing stuff down. However, that was it must have been about 8 years ago, but so they have watched me become a CrossFit level 1, a CrossFit level 2. They've watched me coach CrossFit. They've watched me build up my online clients. They've seen me start up Ladies That Lift, etc. All right. So, and I obviously train with them as well, because they're CrossFitters and I'm a CrossFitter, and we all train together in the same room. So yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I've always said that they are the CrossFit power couple, right? And there's a standing joke as well. I'm sure it's in other training environments as well, but in CrossFit, it's like couples that train together stay together. And I say it to my husband all the time, right? But I also say it to Wendy and Alan, and pretty much any other couple that comes into the CrossFit gym, because I totally believe that it's true, right? Anyway, so they are, in my eyes, the power CrossFit couple. They're just awesome, right? But they also do massively understand the power of CrossFit. And Wendy specifically understands what we're trying to do with the Momentum Foundation. So I would say Wendy pretty much represents exactly what we stand for in the Momentum Foundation. She's a massive believer in empowerment for women. She's got a huge heart for supporting women through midlife. She's midlife as well. 50, I can't actually remember how old she is. I can't remember, 50-ish. We'll just say 50-ish. And also, when we were looking for our third trustee, right, we needed somebody to help us. So a lot of the way that we're setting up the Momentum Foundation as a charity is, Elsa knows more about this than me, right? It's something to do with level 1 and not tier 1 and not tier 2. I can't actually remember. All right, Elsa is the whole thing behind that. But we needed a third person, so it's always good. It's like anything collective, it's always good to have an odd number, right, in case there's a vote or whatever. And I suppose the easy option would be for me to go and ask Cal to come in, or for Elsa to ask her husband or her daughter or something like that, right? But it was always, that was never really going to work neither. Well, first of all, if we'd brought in one each, we would have 4 and not an odd number, so that wouldn't be particularly helpful. But I feel that it's always kind of good to have a neutral person as well. And also Wendy is from a corporate background, accountant, so she just has a lot a lot of different life experience that me and Ailsa have as well. So that was another bonus, I think. Anyway, she was in my eyes, she was the immediate choice. First choice and immediate choice, definitely. Right? She is all about strength, integrity, and just that passion for midlife and for midlife women as well. So she was always going to be her, definitely. And I don't know if there's anything else that I really want to say. We're obviously incredibly honoured because, as I said at the beginning, she could actually have said no. It would have been quite... Obviously, we had a meeting with her and stuff, and we emailed her a whole load of stuff, and then we sat down, had a coffee, etc., etc., and gave her the chance to ask loads of questions. But it is an absolute honour to have her on board as a trustee. Makes our lives a little bit easier, and it's just lovely to understand that there are midlife women out there that actually get what we're trying to do. In fact, I've had a couple of messages on Instagram as well from actual guys that I know, so guys that I used to train with, and they've messaged just to say that, it's pretty amazing what you're doing, which is obviously lovely to hear as well. Anyway, you're going to love her. I promise it. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love her, and I am super excited to get her on this podcast so that she can tell you in her own words a bit about her own history and her own life. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled. As for me, I am just away to do some more recordings. I am planning my content in advance for my clients because I'm on holiday next week in my new house. And it's all a bit mental. All right, so the countdown to Friday, right, is officially on. There's boxes everywhere. I was just looking at Jasper. He's on the spare bed having a wee nap. Anyway, that's it from me, my lovelies. Ta-ta. Hope you're all well. I think you've got Ailsa next week with another update. I think she's going to speak about the launch event, actually. I am, on that note, I am going to put the link for the tickets on the show notes on Spotify because we have sold some tickets, but we would like more, all right? We have 30 spaces, ladies. We have not sold 30 tickets. We are looking for your help, your support, your opinions, and your chat, all right? If you've got any questions, my lovelies, you'll get us on Instagram under the Momentum Foundation or Facebook under the Momentum Foundation, and you'll be listening to this on Spotify, all right? So hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.